Tim Bratz has spent the better part of the last decade buying apartment complexes, fixing them up, and building the kind of portfolio that most real estate investors spend a lifetime chasing. His company, Legacy Wealth Holdings, now controls more than $350 million in commercial real estate, with 2,810 rental units spread across 8 states. But somewhere between managing thousands of units and sitting through one too many management calls that accomplish nothing, Bratz started asking a different kind of question. Not how to buy more. How to actually run what he had. Bad property management accounts for a greater loss in an operator's bottom line than all of the other external factors that affect rental real estate combined, he says. That's not a statistic he pulled from a trade journal. It's something he lived. For Bratz, the frustration wasn't abstract. It was a recurring pattern playing out across hundreds of units in multiple states, where the systems meant to keep things running were themselves the source of the breakdown. Information lived in too many places. Accountability was blurry. Teams were working hard but working blind, reacting to problems instead of preventing them. The business was growing, but the infrastructure holding it together was straining under the weight. The result of that realization is Smart Management, an AI-enhanced property management platform he co-founded with software engineer Brian Fast. The platform consolidates marketing, leasing, tasks, expenses, communication, and reporting into a single hub. It's a bet that the future of real estate isn't just about what you own. It's about how clearly you can see it and how fast you can act. The origin story of Smart Management doesn't start in a boardroom. It starts with a frustration that anyone who has ever tried to manage a large rental portfolio will recognize immediately. Too many platforms. Too many threads. Nobody is on the same page. Most of our management Zoom calls were spent getting everyone on the same page, as opposed to solving problems, Bratz says. Correspondence was scattered across email, text threads, and a patchwork of software tools that didn't talk to each other. Decisions got delayed. Errors compounded. And the larger the portfolio grew, the worse it got. The tipping point came from an unlikely direction. Brian Fast, an investor in one of Legacy Wealth Holdings' deals, asked if he could sit in on the management meetings. Fast wasn't just any investor. His resume included work for Northrop Grumman, the aerospace and defense company, where he was tasked with troubleshooting missile defense systems when they failed. He brought that level of engineering precision to what he was watching unfold inside Bratz's operations. And he didn't like what he saw. Fast asked Bratz whether there was a better way to handle property management. Bratz's answer was honest. I said no, he recalls. And that's how Smart Management was born. To understand why smart management matters, you have to understand just how fractured the status quo is. Property management at scale typically means stitching together a constellation of software tools. One platform for leasing. Another for maintenance tickets. A third for accounting. Email for communication. Spreadsheets for everything else. Each tool functions in its own silo, and the people trying to use them spend half their time playing telephone between systems rather than actually managing properties. The core problem is there isn't a singular hub where everyone is communicating from, Bratz says. Too many different softwares, too many different avenues for correspondence to take place that make it difficult and inefficient to manage rental properties. At the scale Legacy Wealth Holdings operates, those inefficiencies don't stay small. Missed lease renewals quietly bleed revenue. Payroll errors accumulate. Properties drift off budget because no one catches the trend early enough. Teams manage by gut feeling instead of data. By the time a problem becomes obvious, it's already expensive. Tim Bratz saw this pattern repeat itself across his portfolio. When you are running thousands of rental units, small problems turn into big ones very quickly if you don't catch them early, he says. Every major feature in Smart Management, he says, exists because they experienced those failures firsthand and wanted a faster way to surface them before the damage was done. Smart Management isn't built around a theory. It's built around a specific operational reality. The platform puts every part of running a rental portfolio under one roof so that everyone involved, from the CEO down to a contractor fixing drywall, has access to the same information and can communicate through the same system. You don't have to have multiple tabs open, you don't have to pay for multiple softwares, You don't have to wonder if a former employee has something in Gmail that would solve the issue, Bratz says. The platform is designed to take the guesswork out of where information lives and who's responsible for acting on it. The collaboration with FAST proved to be more than just engineering support. FAST brought a framework for thinking about complex systems under pressure, the kind of discipline that comes from debugging missile defense software, not just property management workflows. That perspective shaped how smart management was architected. The goal wasn't to build another feature-heavy tool that intimidated users. It was to build something operators would actually open every morning. Bratz's coaching background informed that thinking. He runs Legacy Family Mastermind, an education platform where he teaches entrepreneurs how to scale rental portfolios and build passive income through real estate. That work taught him something important about tools. Clarity beats complexity, he says, and adoption matters more than features. If people don't understand the tool, they won't use it, and if they don't use it, it doesn't create value. Smart management is in the early stages of onboarding users, and Bratz is deliberate about that pace. The process is slow by design. The team spends time understanding how a given portfolio actually operates before setting up the platform. They align on key performance indicators. They help teams clean up their workflows first so the software supports how the business actually runs, not how it's supposed to run on paper. The feedback from early adopters has been consistent. The thing that surprises them most isn't the features. It's the clarity. Many of them have said they didn't realize how fragmented their systems were until everything was finally connected, Bratz says. That reaction points to something real. Fragmentation becomes invisible when you're inside it long enough. Teams adapt their behavior to work around broken systems. They normalize the friction. It takes seeing a unified view of operations to understand what they've been missing. The platform is built to surface trends and problems early, before they show up as lost net operating income. Better alerts. Clearer accountability. Fewer surprises at month end. Those aren't flashy selling points, but for an operator managing 500 or 1,000 units, they translate directly to money recovered and problems avoided. Property management, Bratz says, is the entry point, not the destination. Over the next 12 to 18 months, the focus is on expanding access to the platform while deepening its core capabilities. That means more automation, sharper alerts, and a stronger view of both operational and financial performance across a portfolio as it grows. The longer arc involves artificial intelligence. The team is working on AI-driven tools designed to help operators spot risks, trends, and inefficiencies before they become costly, without burying users in noise. The distinction matters. There's a version of AI-enhanced software that overwhelms operators with dashboards and alerts and scores. Bratz doesn't want to build that. He wants something that helps people make faster, better decisions with less cognitive overhead. Over the next decade, I believe smart management will change how operators run their businesses by shrinking the gap between what owners think is happening and what's actually happening, he says. Tighter accountability. Fewer costly surprises. Better control of noise as portfolios grow. And eventually, a platform that expands beyond residential property management into other asset-based verticals where operators face the same core problem: too many systems, not enough visibility, and no single place where accountability actually lives. The long-term vision is still more ambitious. Bratz wants to get smart management to a point where usage can be free, making the platform accessible to the widest possible range of operators and businesses. Growth without gatekeeping. Impact at scale. Tim Bratz has built a real estate business by buying undervalued assets and improving them. He's applying the same logic to the software that runs them. The system was broken. He decided to fix it himself.